Hello there, good to see you. Time now for the afternoon news summary. My name is Samuel Machishi. We'll begin with a look at the top stories. The Zambia police puts in place adequate security measures to ensure smooth holding of inauguration ceremony of President-elect Edgar Lungu and Vice President-elect Inonge Winner. And police have surrounded the house of former MMD leader Nevas Mumba in Lusaka's Kabulonga area. The Lusaka City Council intends to help eradicate malaria by the year 2020. Good to have you tuned into ZNBC TV1 for the news updates. The Zambia police have assured members of the public that it has put in place adequate security measures to ensure that the inauguration ceremony of President-elect Edgar Lungu and Vice President Inonge Winner is conducted smoothly. Inspector General of Police Kakoma Kanganja says in view of the high-profile nature of the event, people are advised to be at the Hero Stadium early for security clearance and other formalities. Mr. Kanganja says access to the stadium will be on first-come basis, that once the stadium is filled to capacity, all gates will be closed. He says the police service has been informed by the Office of the Secretary to the Cabinet of alternative venues where people can follow the proceedings on big screens. Mr. Kanganja says on the Copper Belt, people can follow the proceedings from the Levi Monowasa Stadium, while in Lusaka, public viewing will take place at Nkoloma Stadium in Charleston and the showgrounds. He says access to the designated VIP sections of these venues will be strictly by card, and that any unauthorized attempt to gain access to these sections shall be sternly dealt with. Mr. Kanganja says no offensive articles will be allowed into the stadium, including any type of bag or bottle, and that no contravention of traffic regulations will be tolerated. He says all media covering the event will have access to certain areas or specific locations, and that only journalists who have been duly accredited will be allowed to these areas. Mr. Kanganja further says the event will be attended by foreign heads of state and other dignitaries, hence the need to comply with the laid down guidelines. This is contained in a media statement availed to ZNBC News today. And police have surrounded the house of former MMD leader Nevas Mumba in Lusaka's Kabulonga area. By press time, a number of UPND cadres are also seen at Dr. Mumba's house. And Police Lusaka Province Commissioner Nelson Piri says police cannot comment at the moment, but promise that they will issue a statement later. Kabushi Member of Parliament Bowman Lusambo says President Edgar Lungu has demonstrated that he is truly a chosen leader of Zambia. Mr. Lusambo says President Lungu has remained silent and allowed the due process of the law to take its full course, even after the presidential election returning officer declared him the winner of the August 11 presidential election. He says President Lungu's conduct in the past few days has shown that he is a true democrat, a leader chosen by God, and one who respects the tenets of democracy. Mr. Lusambo was speaking in an interview with ZNBC News in Lusaka today.
The way I demonstrated to the world that he is a Democrat and he respects the rule of law. He has waited despite being declared a winner. The UPND, they took the matter to court. His Excellency has been very quiet on this matter and has allowed the court process to conclude the cases. And for us, we want to tell the world that really, Edgar Lungu is a God-given leader for Zambia. He has the heart for the people of Zambia, and he respects the people of Zambia.
The Lusaka City Council says it intends to help eradicate malaria by the year 2020. Lusaka City Council Public Health Department Acting Pest Control Superintendent Christopher Mulenga says this will be done through integrated vector management. Mr. Mulenga says not only malaria-transmitting mosquitoes have been targeted in the interventions, but all types. He says the integrated vector management will help reduce the population of mosquitoes to extremely low levels. Mr. Mulenga was speaking when he featured on TV2 News and Current Affairs program 7 Days Today.
To employ like I've mentioned, the integrated vector management. So in the integrated vector management, I've mentioned of larval source management. I've mentioned of indoor residue spraying. The citizens out there is to ensure that whenever they feel like they have malaria or any signs of malaria, they should quickly go to the clinic, seek prompt medical screening, diagnosis, and treatment, so that they do not transmit, they do not become carriers that mosquitoes are going to get the parasite from them and distribute to others. Then the other part is when women are pregnant, ensure that they are given the 3 doses of Fansida that is given. Whether a person is sick or not, they're supposed to take those 3 doses of Fansida.
Service organizations have been urged to make a difference in their communities across the country. Lions District 413 Zambia past Governor Christine Kasonde says the Lions clubs need to make an impact in communities where they operate from. Ms. Kasonde says it is sad that some communities are not aware of the presence of Lion clubs because the service organizations have not offered service. She was speaking at the joint installation of boards for Zone 7 at Arakan Barracks last night. Those installed as club presidents are Efim Pande from the Lions Club of Longacres, Richard Sakala from the Lions of Fairview, Grace Kalichini from Chongwe, Matilda Katengwe from Lions Club of Mulungushi, and Marshall Chilombo of Lions Club of Ibex. And District 413 Zambia Governor Danny Ziambo says the Lions Clubs International has offered to give more funding to Zambia for measles campaign. Mr. Ziambo says the Lions Clubs International, which is the supreme body of the Lions Club, is happy with the previous measles campaign done by the Lions Clubs in Zambia. Earlier, Mr. Sakala, who represented newly installed club presidents, said the boards are mindful of the challenges facing Lions District 413 Zambia. And finally, in the news this hour, the Lusaka Water and Storage Company has embarked on construction of another water treatment plant to increase water supply in the capital. Company Public Relations Officer Nshamba Muzungu says the treatment plant is expected to be completed in the next 2 years. He says the project is one of the many interventions that the water utility company has initiated to help resolve water shortages in Lusaka. Mr. Muzungu says this is because the water utility company is currently rationing water in the city due to the various factors such as the growing population and load shedding. He added that effects of climate change have also contributed as there are low yields from boreholes. Mr. Muzungu was speaking when he featured on a TV2 News and Current Affairs program 7 Days Today.
We are putting in place, and you know, these projects end at different times, so different areas will begin to see benefits at different times, and it will not come at the same time. Once we complete a project which will benefit a certain area, that area will begin to see the the fruits of those projects. So these will come at different times, and mind you, you may want to know that 40% of the water that we supply comes from Kafue River, and 60% comes from the boreholes. And we are putting up, we are drilling some boreholes in other areas under the Lusaka Water Supply and Drainage Project by the Millennium Challenge, in areas like Vona Valley, Kwamwena, Ndeke, Minwood. These are new areas, Ngombe, SOS, so these areas, in the next 9 months, we should complete some of those projects.
And that item brings us to the end of the news. And before the headlines, we'd just like to urge you to stay glued to your public service broadcaster. The first MTN Super League game involving Lusaka Dynamos and Nkana is on at Sunset Stadium, and the second half has just started. Let's leave you with the headlines. The Zambia Police has put in place adequate security measures to ensure that the inauguration ceremony of President-elect Edgar Lungu and Vice President-elect Inonga Wina is conducted smoothly. Police have surrounded the house of former MMD leader Nevas Mumba in Lusaka's Kabulonga area. The Lusaka City Council says it intends to help eradicate malaria by the year 2020. Thank you for your time. Let's take you back to the game.